do me a favor and take a chill pill. Today is going to be the last day that you are super stressed out and you're over nesting about the birth of your newborn. I'm going to run through all of the newborn essentials that you actually need so you don't end up spending a bunch of money on items that you're not even going to use. Let's get into it. The first thing that you're going to tackle is you're going to tackle storage, and you're going to put yourself in a position to where you could just grab stuff at any given moment. So you're going to get three different types of stations, right? Three types of stations. You're going to get a movable station, you're going to get a portable caddy station, and you're going to get a standstill station. Now, if you look behind me, it's kind of blurred in the back. I have my standstill station. We're in my daughter's nursery, right? So in the standstill station, I, sometimes have some toys in there, little wipes, maybe an extra thing of medicine. So that way I don't have to walk all the way across the house to get something that I literally should just have in here. And it's the same thing that you want to do with the movable station, right? So for the movable station, you want to have your diapers on there, wipes on there, ointment that you need, medicine on there, and you can move that puppy from room to room. Let's say you're going to spend all day, I don't know, in the family room because it's a Saturday and you want to kick back, you want to watch TV. I'll be honest, that's not really happening that much because you got a newborn, but let's have some lofty goals here and say that you want to kick back and watch TV. You're going to have your movable station in there, right? And then you're going to have your caddy. Okay, your caddy is like, okay, I'm about to be in the bedroom for a second, or I'm going to be in the office for a second. Let me grab the caddy because I know the baby's going to end up making what we call a stink of poop. We'll get into that later, right? Or I know that they probably gonna drool, so I need to, pop a onesie in there, right? So you need to make sure you start by stationing up because you want to have different stations all across your house or your apartment or wherever you're at. Maybe you're going to visit, the grandparents and you want to have the caddy with you because it's more convenient than having the diaper bag, and you can have both. Whatever the situation is, make sure you have your stations. We're starting off there. With all these products, you could find them in the link in the description below. I really made it simple so that way you don't have to search and find it. All of the products that we're going to talk about today are going to have the links in the description below. So be sure, or you can add this to your baby shower list. So when people buy gifts, they know they're buying things that you need, not just things that they want to give you, which is fine if that's what they want to do, but you would rather them buy the things that you're going to actually use. Next thing you're going to get is this multi-purpose ointment. I'm all about using organic products that have the least amount of chemicals. So anything that I suggest on the channel, unless it's like this is the absolute only option, more likely than not, it's going to be something that leans towards more organic and natural products. So this multi-purpose ointment, I use it all the time with my daughter when we're changing diapers. She hasn't had, knock on wood, a diaper rash yet. So we use this ointment on her bottom. Sometimes we just use it like Vaseline, like after a bath, right? And it keeps her skin nice and moist and nice and fresh. And sometimes babies, they like to scratch themselves or whatever, right? And so I use this multi-purpose ointment. I put it on her cheek. If she scratched herself, by the end of the day, that scratch is gone, healed, no mark is left. So I swear by this multi-purpose ointment. All right, next thing you want to get is the BAssinet. Now, I'm going to keep it 99 plus 1. Get it? 100. I know. I made it funny. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. My child did not sleep in this bassinet at all. Right? So the bassinet thing didn't work for me. What ended up working for me, and we can get into this on a later video, is she ended up doing a bunch of contact naps and contact sleeping, which is not ideal, right? Which meant pretty much that for the most part, I was sleeping uncomfortable on a couch with her. But we'll get into that on how to make it through the night. And I'll make a video just about how to make it through the night. So comment make it through the night in the comments below if that's something that you want to focus on. But anyway, she didn't sleep in this bassinet at all. So I'm going to say proceed with caution when it comes to the bassinet. The other reason why you want to proceed with caution with bassinet is because it's literally made for babies to outgrow a bassinet. It's made for a stage up to like 4 months. By that time, they're going to grow out of it. So if you're balling on a budget, something that a majority of us parents are doing, right? I'm not going to say skip out on the bassinet, but what I will say is that choose a bassinet that is affordable and something that it's either multi-use, meaning that it can grow with the child over the course of a year and your child's still going to be able to fit in it, or it's not like too expensive. So the bassinets that I'm going to put in the link in the description below are more on the affordable side. Now, however, if you're not balling on the budget and you just balling, you can go ahead and look into those more expensive bassinets that have a whole bunch of science features behind it, right? And so, I mean, down to like checking out oxygen levels. They'll even shake and do all that, you know, when the baby's starting to wake up, to make sure the baby don't wake up no more, and all the fancy smancy. I didn't have that. I'm an everyday mom. So what I had was a regular bassinet. And, you know, to start, I think she napped in it like, I'm gonna say max over the past 2.5 months, like 10 times. So, but get you a bassinet, because the majority of people are using a bassinet, and it's something that you want to have by your bedside if that's what you're going to do, or if you're going to start off sleeping in the nursery with the child, then you can have the bassinet in the nursery. After you get you a bassinet, the next thing that you need to look into is a lounger. Now, this is convenient because, like I said, let's say you decide you want to chill in the family room or chill with the TV's at, and the TV's not in the nursery. You can pop the baby in the lounger, and it's comfortable, kind of like a cocoon type of space, right? And they could take a nap in there if you're able to actually get them to take a nap. Great. Wishing you the best of luck. May odds be ever in your favor. But worst case scenario, this lounger is actually something you can put inside of the bassinet, and it's something that's safe and is ready for safe sleep. And you put it inside the bassinet, and it makes the bassinet a little bit more comfortable for them, especially when they're fresh out the womb, right? And so it gives them kind of that nice little, you know, I guess you could say cuddle like feeling that they have. And it'll help it fit. And then as they outgrow the lounger in the bassinet, you can just take the lounger out, but you could still use the lounger if they could fit in the lounger elsewhere around the house. Or maybe you're visiting a friend's house and you're bringing the baby with you. You got the lounger, baby just pops in the lounger, boom, take a nap, they're ready to go. This next product, I don't go an hour without using it unless she's literally down sleep. And it is Burp Cloth. You cannot have too many burp cloths. Like burp cloth, burp cloth, burp cloth galore is what you're going to need. Several reasons. Well, one, because literally to spit up. There's that. Drooling. There's that. Just wiping stuff off of the baby. There's that. The other portion is like, and if you're like me, I'm a germaphobe. I'm a germaphobe to the point where we pretty much had no visitors for the first 90 days. Like, I was not playing games. And then she was also born in the fall, which means it was about to be the winter and it was about to be sick season. And it was just like, I don't want to deal with a sick baby. I refuse. But anyway, so let's say you have visitors, right? You don't want the baby's skin to be on the visitor's clothes because that's what the germs are. It's not saying your visitors are germy, but just in general, people are germy. So you need to have some type of a barrier between the people's clothes or the people's skin, right, and the baby. And so you can have these burp cloths. I suggest getting various sizes, right? You can get a large burp cloth. I love using this. And they literally just drape over right on top of you. And you can just pop the baby on. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll see me literally with a burp cloth and my daughter on top of me. You cannot have too many burp cloths. Like, if you're gonna buy a bunch of stuff, buy a bunch of burp cloths, because that's like, at this point, it's almost like timeless. It's gonna last up for at least for the first year of the kid. Burp cloth, burp cloth, burp cloth. Okay, if you're gonna have burp cloth, if you're gonna have clothes, if you're gonna have other things, what's natural you're gonna have to do is laundry, right? So you need to get some baby laundry detergent. This may be common sense to other people, but it may not be for some who are new moms, new parents, right? Babies do not use our laundry detergent. Our stuff is too strong, chemicals, all types of stuff that'll break the baby out, and it's not good. You need to get baby laundry detergent. The brand that I use is called Dreft, so make sure you get some. And then even when you're using the baby laundry detergent, don't put the same amount of laundry detergent in your laundry load that you do like a regular person. You put just a nice little teensy weensy bit, little teensy weensy, that's my baby, little teensy weensy bit in the load. And if you do that, and you put that in the load, then your baby should be fine. Now, for some babies, they have sensitive skin. I figured my baby was gonna have sensitive skin because I literally have sensitive skin, and her dad has sensitive skin. So it's a sensitive skin family, right? And so I first tested out, like when she came out the womb, I tested out, okay, is the laundry detergent stuff gonna be better, or does she need it fresh out the box? Like, what is that gonna irritate the skin? So you're gonna have to go back and forth and figure out what works for your child. But regardless, you're going to need this laundry detergent. So now, the next thing is really dependent on preference. Everybody doesn't want to go this route, but I say regardless, you should buy these, because there's what we have in our head as a parent, and then there's what actually takes place as a parent once the baby gets here. And so I'd say have pacifiers, right? Pacifiers. Okay, so what type of pacifiers? That's not something you're going to know prior to your child getting here. So I suggest you get a variety pack of pacifiers, right? Get multiple different shapes and sizes and textures, right? Because essentially, pop it in the baby's mouth. If you choose to use it, you pop it in the baby's mouth, and if they like it, they're gonna keep it in at some point, or they're gonna spit it out. And if they spit it out, they might spit it out and then end up liking it. But if they keep spitting out, they don't like that one. Switch to another one and test it out. So get a variety pack of pacifiers. At this point, my daughter really doesn't really use the pacifier at all. She's about 2.5 months, right? And she's completely ditched it. We used it, I'm gonna say maybe a week, 2 weeks, if that. And so it worked for us for a little bit, and then it stopped. And maybe it's because I pretty much was able to soothe her. She's breastfed, so that played a portion. I'm not really sure why, but having the variety pack of pacifiers definitely helped me initially, especially for car rides. Either me or my boyfriend would be in the back seat with her, and then she would start crying. We'd pop in a pacifier, maybe throw some white noise on the Bluetooth speakers in the car, and then it would soothe her temporarily until we got going. Once you get going in the car, usually babies soothe themselves and they just rock themselves to sleep because they love the motion. But variety pack of pacifiers. This is a biggie right here, the swaddle. I'm sure you hear all the time about babies being swaddled. So the good thing about having burp cloths is you could actually use those burp cloths to swaddle the baby, right? If you get a long one, depending on the texture of it, you can use those. You're gonna do the traditional swaddle. I learned how to do the traditional swaddle, but I never really perfected it. I'm keep it real. I wasn't really that good at the traditional swaddle. So because I wasn't that good at the traditional swaddle, I like the ready-made swaddle. So yes, I would suggest getting a ready-made swaddle. Majority of babies love to be swaddled, and especially right out the womb, they love to be swaddled. And so when you're in the hospital, a lot of times nurses they come in and they'll swaddle and they'll show you how to swaddle the baby, so you can do that, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know if it's scary, but it's kind of nerve-wracking when you're first swaddling the baby, especially the traditional way. You're just trying to figure it out. Even if you practice on a little baby dummy, you did all the demonstration, all that, and you're still just trying to figure it out, right? So what was a lot easier is to have the ready-made swaddle. And the ready-made swaddle is something that's like, it is foolproof. All you do is you just pop the baby in the swaddle. You put the strap over, right? While the arms are like this, you put the strap over, and then you put the other strap over, and then boom, right? In theory, that should work. That should just give the baby the feeling and all that. And it does work in theory, right? And then you get a baby like mine who wants to have their hands free. And so that didn't work. So there's those swaddles, right? And then it's what I ended up landing on, which is kind of like a sleep sack swaddle. Sleep sack swaddle, it has a little strap over the stomach. You zip it up and you have the actual sleep sack, right? And then she was able to have her hands free too on the outside, because my baby liked the hands free so much to when I had the first swaddle I talked about, she was breaking out of the swaddle because she's strong. But nonetheless, you need multiple types of swaddles so you could try to do that. What I will say is the sleep sack swaddle has helped during sleep training. One, because you don't want to put a blanket in the crib and stuff. It's not really safe because of SIDS. And then it keeps her warm, right? And then the other portion of it, it has certain features on it that's supposed to help self-soothe, like the band that wraps around. So get yourself multiple swaddles, but not so much that you're blowing the budget, but enough to where you can try out what's going to end up working for your baby. You need a bunch of onesies. I'm gonna tell you a little story. We had a baby shower, and everybody donated a bunch of stuff: diapers, clothes, just you name it. Everybody who donated, or not donated, bought, everybody who bought the newborn clothes, I had a 10-pound baby. So my baby literally came out the womb in a 3 to 6 size. Did not fit any of the newborn clothes. So a couple of my friends are gonna be pregnant. I'm gonna be able to give them some brand new newborn size clothes. So what I will say is, if you're going to buy onesies, right, buy multiple sizes at first. And then, like I say, balling on a budget, right? So we don't need to like overdo it. If you got it, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You can go ahead and buy all the, the fancy smancy labels and all that for the baby if you have it comfortably. But you don't really need to do that, because you know why? A baby can't tell the difference at all. They have no awareness of this. That's for us in the picture. So maybe buy 1 or 2 outfits cute that you want to take a picture in. But in real life, I literally have the same. I have a bunch of white onesies, and I got the sleeveless ones, and I have a bunch of white onesies that have the sleeves. And then I realized that my baby liked color, because she would literally just stare at colors. So then I started buying like bright pink ones and like yellow ones and like stuff like that. But it's literally just all simple, regular onesies. You're gonna need a bunch of those. Why do you need a bunch of those? Because your baby is gonna do what I call busting through the onesie, right? Even if you put on the diaper the right way, when they do a stinker poop, that thing is a stinker bomb. It just goes, and then it ends up being all over the front or the back of the ones. I don't know how it happens. I'm telling you, I know how to put a diaper on right. It just doesn't matter. It just ends up being everywhere. And so for some of them, it's not that much poop that gets on it, so you can save it, right? For others, it's so much poop on it, you just go ahead, toss that onesie. It's a wrap. We just RIP to the onesie, throw it in the trash, and keep it pushing. So you're going to need a bunch of onesies. How much? You have to put a number on it. I would say try to get at least 20, maybe 30 onesies of various different types of onesies, right? That way, if you don't feel like doing laundry, I mean, one time we had a doctor's appointment and she bust through 3 onesies in like 2 hours. Like boop, boop, boop. It's crazy. It's wild times. Next thing is, I talked about me being a germaphobe, right? Yeah, well, we're gonna keep in that same vein. I suggest just have a little slight germophobia. Just slight. Not a whole bunch to where they can't experience the world, but just slight enough to where the baby doesn't get really sick because it was preventable. And so we started off our daughter with Mittens. We didn't let her touch a bunch of stuff, because all babies want to do is just touch a bunch of stuff until they get to the age like where she's at now, 2.5 months, where it's very important for her to get her motor skills with her hands and like touch things and all that. So we pretty much take the Mittens off. We might pop them on when it's time to go visit people, but when they first get out the womb, we got her these Mittens so she couldn't touch a bunch of stuff. And then also because you want to touch her, and then so you don't have to worry about getting sick, because she didn't like the feeling of the mittens in her mouth and stuff, so she didn't do that. So get a couple pairs of these Mittens, right, to put on at least initially, especially if you're one of those people who's not gonna be like extra like me. I did 90 days, no visitors. You're not gonna do that. Then when he or she has visitors, put the Mittens on. So if they touch the baby thing and they won't put it in their mouth, and then everybody's good. Germs, no germs. You don't want to, if you can, right? Sometimes you just can't. It just happens. It's life, right? But if you can prevent the baby from getting sick, especially in the newborn stage, then we want to take all the precautions that we can. This one right here is literally one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites, okay? I call it the poop chair. Now online is listed as like a bounce chair or, a rocking chair or whatever, right? I call it because my baby takes poops in this chair. You get it, pun into poop? No. All right. Maybe it's not that funny, but whatever. So, because, yeah, it's something weird that takes place with newborns, and they just don't know how to poop. It takes them a while to like figure out how to poop, and then when they do, they make this. It is like, it's crazy. It's wild. Wait till you hear it. It's actually quite fascinating. But anyway, so we noticed that because I had this little swing thing that was like $300. At least for me, it wasn't worth it. I'll put the picture up here. If you want to get it, I'll put the link in the description below, because it was the fancy smancy and it rocked them and all that. She was crying. She did not like that. We tried to put her in that multiple times. What ended up working is this under $100 poop chair, right? And we use that all the time. That's how she lets me eat breakfast and stuff in the morning. I put her in the poop chair, and she have her morning poop in the poop chair, and I eat my breakfast. And then we pop her out of the poop chair. She'll give me about 20, 30 minutes in here because, they don't really like to be and stuff for long periods of time. I have an active child, right? And then we go about our day. Or if I need to take a shower, right? I'll pop her in the poop chair while I take a shower. And then she'll let me take a shower and brush and do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. So get you this poop chair and it will save your life. And so essentially what it does is it just rocks. It does this. She won't really sleep in it though. So if your goal is to get something like the swing thing or the little bounce thing, I didn't try the more expensive little bounce thing. I'll put various ones, right? You can do that. But in a poop chair, she'll chill. She's comfortable. She likes it. She sits up. This one's going to be dependent on your kid, but however you're going to use it at some point anyway. So I suggest just getting a nice little hairbrush comb set. It's really affordable. My baby was born with a head full of hair, just like I was as a child. My brother was as a child, so it wasn't that rare. But apparently, well, at least for my family, it wasn't that rare. But apparently, at the hospital, it was a big deal. Everybody just kept coming in the room because they wanted to see the baby's hair. And so we needed a brush, just to brush it through. And we need, at first you're not really bathing them and doing all that, right? And putting a bunch of product in. We don't. If anything, I just put like olive oil in her hair, like coconut oil, and just brush it and just, keep it. She had cradle cap, so we got to comb that up and wash it out so you can get that as well. I'll put that link in the description below just in case that's something that your baby experiences. But I say get it because at some point you're going to need it, and if your baby is born with hair, you're going to need it off rip. Now, you need to have socks. Got to have some socks. Get some various sizes because you're not going to know. You see what they say on the ultrasound and all that, and then like for me, the last ultrasound we had was like 8 pounds. Then the baby came out and it was 10 pounds. So, like I said, newborn stuff just off top didn't fit. 3 to 6 months. So I would get a couple different sizes because at some point they're gonna grow into it anyway. So you might as well just have it. Okay, next thing you're gonna need is a bathtub. Now you can get fancy with this if you want to get fancy with it, but that's off, hoping that the kid likes baths because every kid doesn't like baths. My daughter's 50-50. Some days she likes it, and some days she just don't want to be fooled with. So I would get, something that's in the middle and make sure that it's going to be a comfortable bath. I'm going to put a few different in the description that you can choose from. Bath time can be a part of the bedtime routine. When at first newborn, you can't bathe them every day, but you can do some version of a wash up, right? So it simulates some type of a bath. But eventually they're going to be having baths quite often. So make sure you have a tub. You don't want to have to search and do all that, right? No, don't be doing all that. Next thing you're gonna need is the diaper bag, right? So the diaper bag. I have a mommy bag. I think you should have a mommy bag. I think you should have a daddy bag, right? And then you should have an extra bag. So you're like, why do you need an extra bag? Well, you need a backup bag. And the backup bag just stays in the car. That's the emergency. Man, the roof was on fire. We had to hop in the car. We didn't have time to pack nothing. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to grab anything. I don't have to do because I always have something in the car. So you need to always have something in the car. And every time they go up in onesie size and all that, you update the emergency bag in the car. It's great. It's just listen to me on this one, right? But you get the mommy bag, right? And in your mommy bag, you're gonna need to have a few different things, right? You're gonna need to have diapers. You need to have wipes. You need to have Ziplock bags. Let me break that down. Ziplock bags. Because when you're on the go, right, you got diaper, because you just changed the diaper, right, and you got wipes. Where are you going to put that mess at? Maybe you pulled over on the side of the road. You can't just throw it outside. You put it in Ziplock bags because that is going to seal the smell. Genius. My mom taught me that. Absolute genius, I tell you. Genius. Yes, indeed. This is what you need, for sure. Okay, then you need a bucket. What is that bucket for? Well, when you're doing the wipes, you don't want to just take the wipe out and wipe the booty because the wipes have little form of chemical, and if you do too many wipes on the private parts, then they're going to break out. And that's not what we want. You want to get the wipes, and then you want to put some water on it. So it's the mommy bag, right? You get a little water bottle, pow, pow, pow. Because at home, you can just run it through the sink, right? You can just run the wipe through the sink, and that dilutes it a little bit. And then you put it in the bucket, and then you wipe the bottom down. Well, on the go, you're going to have water baths. Boop, 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 boop. Pooh, boom. Put them things together. Wipe it out, Put the wipes in the Ziploc bag, put that dirty diaper in a Ziploc bag, zip it up, and you can toss it in the mommy bag until you get to a trash can. Thank me later. I know. You need to have pacifiers. We already talked about pacifiers. That's going to be in the mommy bag. Extra onesies, extra mittens, extra socks, extra, extra, extra. Pretty much everything that you have that's essential at home, you need to have it in that mommy bag because you never know what's about to pop up. Now, you need to have a changing table. Now, I'm going to put a changing table that I love, right? Because you could use it in the house. You could also use it in the car. You could just lay it down in the back seat, popper, or him on it. Boom, change that diaper. It's really comfortable. It's comfortable for the kids, nice cushiony, right, as well. And then you can use it if you go visit somebody's house. Just pop that puppy down. Boom, boom, boom. Right? You can use it around the house. Pop it down. Boom, 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 boom. That's my sound effects for the chain. Boom, boom, boom. No, it's okay. You'll laugh eventually. You'll laugh. It's okay. Laugh to keep from crying. No. Okay. All right. So you need a changing table. Okay. They have these to-go changing tables, and I'll put them in here. I don't really like it. My baby was too big for it, but maybe your baby fits on it. It doesn't have any padding. It's like you should have one of those, but that to me is kind of like the emergency one. The one that I like to have with me is the one that's it's the longer one, right? And you need to have that. So what I actually use in the house is like my changing station. You need a changing table station. It's actually this combo. Shout out to my best friend. It's a playpen that could end up being like a crib, and then on top it has a changing table and a little bassinet, so it's something that she can grow with, which is really cool, right? And so we have that in the kitchen area, and that's like our neutral space in the house, and we just boom, pop her on there and we change her in there, and then we do what we need to do. But if I was in this room, right, and I wanted to change her, I could just pop out the changing table, change her inside the changing table, and keep it pushing. Major key, get you a changing table or a changing station. You got to get you what I like to call the booger snatcher. All right, the booger snatcher. So you see the manual ones, and that, to me, that mess is nasty. It's like, I don't want to be sucking up snot. No, I don't. I got the automatic booger snatcher. You put a little battery, little check. You go and get them boogers out. That's it. Keep it simple. To me, it's pretty affordable because I didn't want to suck the boogers out. And no, I mean, I will if I have to. It's my child, but like my preference, do I really want to do it? No. But I'll put the manual down there, and I'll put the one that I have. And I love that little automatic booger snatcher. It just get the boogers out, and it's good to go. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. If you can automate it, do it. You're gonna need reading books. Okay, reading books. I'm actually going to have a children's book release, so, go ahead and check that out. Yes, indeed. But need reading books so you can put the baby to sleep, right? It can be part of your bedtime routine. But in addition to that, it's just playtime. Even they don't have to know how to read it. They just want to see the visual colors, right? And it's just great for them to see the visual colors. And it's entertaining, and they're looking at you talking to them, and they like it. So get you a few reading books so you can do that during bedtime, right? And it's something they can grow because they'll eventually know how to read. And you can also do it during playtime in their awake windows. You could read them books, and we love that. We love that. So get you some reading books. Pillows. Okay, what type of pillows? All right, well, I'm a breastfeeding mom. And so that was my preference of what it is that I wanted to start off doing. There's no judgment here. Everybody, at some point, my baby might be on formula. Anyway, everybody has various reasons of how they want to feed their baby. So breastfeeding pillow. Okay, I did the little donut thing. That works. I think very convenient, like fresh out the womb because they're smaller and it fits, and like you can do that. Right? What ended up working for me is just doing like a combination of a few different things. I had the breastfeeding pillow, and then I would have actual regular pillows like that I would sleep on, but I would have a fresh pillowcase on it for the baby, her own pillow, and I would put it on the side, and I would prop some under my arm or prop it under her or whatever, because there's multiple positions when it comes to breastfeeding anyway, right? But you need to have pillows. Got to have pillows. So you can check out the breastfeeding pillow that I'm put. You definitely want to have that. Regular pillow. Okay, I like to have a softer one. The firm ones. Sometimes I'll just prop it up on a couch, right? And I'll sit her like where her back is and her bum is on the couch or whatever. And we're looking face to face and we're talking, interacting, playing, singing songs. She loves that. So you can do that with it, or you can use it for breastfeeding, different positions. You can rock the baby to sleep on a pillow. Okay, but the other major key, this is what you're not thinking about. This is a major gem that you're not thinking about, and I'm happy I could share this with you, is the travel pillow. Why would you need a travel pillow if you're not traveling? Okay, this is why you need a travel pillow, because there may be some awkward positions that you end up having to sleep in. If your baby has a tummy ache, check out the video where I talk about how to get rid of gas in a baby. Check that out. I have it on the channel. Your baby has a tummy ache and they can't go to sleep any other way, but maybe they end up going to sleep on you, right? That's how they are comfortable, because you're soothing them, and the baby's just crying their face off. Not if you watch my video, but let's say you didn't watch it yet, right? Baby's crying their face off. You put the travel pillow, baby sleeps on you, and then you're holding the baby, and then maybe you just get a little cat nap because you had a travel pillow, and you don't have to worry about being in the perfect position, right? You can actually just knock out for a second. So, I mean, I went through probably like 3-4 weeks of me just sleeping on the couch in the craziest position possible, because she would not sleep anywhere else but on me. And I had a pillow behind my back to help my back a little bit. I had a travel pillow on. I had her on top of me. I made sure that, things were as safe as possible. And it's just like, get you one. You'll thank me later. Okay, you definitely do not want to forget this. You need to get formula. Okay, so the problem with this is, and mind you, everybody's gonna have formula for different reasons, right? But everybody needs it, whether you're breastfeeding your baby or your baby is going to literally be a formula fed baby. The problem with this is you're not going to actually know what type of formula you want to use until it's time to use it. You can research the formula and but your baby could end up not liking that formula and having to switch. So what I suggest is getting 2 to 3 different types of formula. I'm going to suggest a formula that is an organic formula. I tend to lean more on the organic products than I do on products that are known to maybe have, more, I would say, I'm not going to say chemical, but like more, yeah, just less organic materials in it. But I'll put multiple formulas. So you need to make sure that you get it. Research what you think is what you're going to want to use. Even if you're a breastfed baby like me, right? Let's say something goes wrong, whatever that something is, it just might go wrong. In parenthood, stuff just be going left. You try to make it go right, and it just go left. Let's say something goes left, right? You want to have something there versus not having something at all, because the last thing you want is to have to do the whole drive around and figure out where are we getting formula, and depending on what your situation is and where you're living, that may not be possible nor convenient. And then what is the baby going to do, starve? No. So have it already. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Make sure you have some formula. This next item, they don't even let you leave the hospital unless you have it. Okay? It's a car seat. Okay. Get you a car seat. Now, if I look back at it, if I could have been balling, I would have spent the big old money for the car seat. That's where I would have spent my money at, because right now we have a regular car seat. Mind you, it gets the job done. I like the fact that the car seat pops out, and I'm gonna put various car seats on different budget tiers, right? So it'd be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I like the fact that it pops out and then boop, we put it in a stroller, and then we can just roll her on a walk if we're going on a walk, or we're going into a building, we're doing all that, whatever it is we need to do. We can just pop, pop, pop. I love that portion of it. But if I had a critique, it's how strapping her in. And maybe that's just because she's younger, right? And newborn, it's a lot just of a different position to get the baby in. I feel like the more expensive the car seats have easier ways to strap them in. But you got to get the job done. So make sure you get a car seat. And I would suggest getting a car seat that was a system similar. And those are the ones that I'm going to put, one that literally could pop into a stroller and you can just go when you need to go. So it is a major key. Take your time, research safety, and research what it is that you want. Now, I'm sure there's a bunch of other products that we could go through, right? But this is the stuff that gets me through my day. This is stuff that I actually use. I mean, we had so many things that were bought for us at the baby shower that literally just end up sitting. And sometimes people spent just hundreds of dollars on stuff that just sitting someplace. So these are the essentials. I know you're probably watching a bunch of videos. You're trying to get ready for the baby to get here. You're going to be fine. You're going to figure it out. Just the fact that you're watching the video lets me know that you're a parent that cares. And that's what your baby needs. A parent that cares. Somebody who loves them enough to try to get it right. So just stop stressing. It's going to be fine, right? It's definitely going to be fine. Let me know what other type of videos, what other tips and tricks that you want in the comments below. Hit the like button, sub button, bell button. Like, you gotta go.